Hello, this is Kira Leslie with Debunking Addiction for HealthyPlace.com. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about the issue of food and food that's cooked with alcohol or flavored like alcohol as a person in recovery. Well, generally speaking, I avoid it. We've all heard it before. The alcohol cooks off. People say it won't have any effect on you. Well, I would prefer not to find out the hard way. And regardless of that, I find it to be triggering. So if I go to a restaurant and there's a dish that I want to order, but then I realize that it's made with a wine sauce, well, I don't order it. And not everybody works their recovery that way, but for me, that's a good, safe way to go. I did a little bit of internet research poking around and found out that whether or not the alcohol cooks off is actually dependent on a lot of different factors. So it has to do with the method with which you cook something, the other ingredients you cook it with, and the alcohol content of the alcohol that you're cooking with in the first place. So I would rather just not take any chances personally. In addition, things that are flavored like alcohol or in some way remind me of alcohol are not a really good thing for me to do either. So for example, I used to work at a coffee shop and there was one type of sugar-free syrup that for some reason just reminded me of an alcoholic beverage. And so I would avoid that. It's not a memory that I need to bring up. It's a slippery slope and it's a dangerous territory to go to. So recently though, I did eat at a conference a piece of tiramisu cake. And it's not something that I normally do because I think that it has some sort of alcoholic flavor involved. I don't know exactly what it is, but it was okay, and I do like tiramisu, but I think that in the future I'll probably avoid it because even though I don't feel currently like I'm very strongly triggered, but at the same time, it's obviously something that I've thought about, and so, my wheels start spinning, and it's just not a situation that I need to put myself in the first place, because I'm going to overthink it one way or the other. So I think a lot of it has to do with also how you're feeling at any given time, Maybe sometime it would be okay for you to partake of something, and sometimes it wouldn't, depending on how you're feeling. And you always need to check your motivations. That's my experience as a person in recovery. You always need to check your motivations for doing something. And also assess your fitness level, your preparedness level for it, and see if it's a good choice for your recovery or if it's not. And I'm curious to know what other people's experiences are with food and with beverages. And so please go ahead and share your thoughts.